Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and another Sims Forecast video. I'm Bussy and today I'm giving you another lookbook with the Dixon family. Currently on the screen is Yasmin Dixon, and if you saw my previous video, you remembered me mentioning she's Brooklyn's best friend in my Royal Story save file. If not, you can click the link above and check it out after watching this video. Let's dive into this video to find out more about the Dixons. But first, if you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so you never miss another upload. Alright, let's get started. First we have Nicholas Dixon. Nick is a patriarch of the family. His traits are domestic, self-assured, ambitious, and good. His aspiration is successful lineage and he is in the political career. In the Royals, he is a state senator for the state of Georgia and plans on running for president. Nick is very focused and wants to change the lives of everyone as much as he can and tries to instill those values in his family. His look is more corporate and based on his daily work schedule and campaigning, and on his off days it's more laid back and casual. I decided to showcase the everyday, formal, party and cold weather looks as they incorporate the Sim styles more. The formal and cold weather look though have a backstory. The formal look you'll notice is a black and white theme, and that's because I plan on making a family portrait and place the pictures in their home. The cold weather look is me imagining how the family will look when out campaigning with Nick to give off that wholesome family vibe that politicians tend to show off during election campaigns. Here we have Catherine. Kate's traits are business savvy, snob, perfectionist, and art lover. Her aspiration is mansion baron, which she immediately completes when I add her to her house. So I chose a new aspiration, which is fabulously wealthy. Obviously they should already be rich, but I want to play the family for a bit to see how much money I can make them in 3 sim weeks before I cheat in their fortune. In game, Kate is in the business career and will be taking the management route. But in the Royals, she is an heiress to an oil company in Georgia owned by her father, so she comes from old money. She is predominantly a housewife, never misses her children's school activities, and frees up her weekends to spend time with her kids when they come back from boarding. Side note, the kids are in boarding because they wanted to go so they could have a life outside of the whole wholesome political family facade. Beyond that, Kate is very hands-on and is part of the PTA. Kate's involvement in her father's company is that as the firstborn of 2, she is being groomed to take over, but because of Nick's influence on her, she chose to start at the bottom, and because of this, she always advocates for the workers, much to her father's dismay, even though it has up productivity and the bottom line. She is also looking to turn the company green, but is getting pushback from her father on the matter. Kate's looks are more on the conservative, classy and stylish side. She obviously does dress up to match her position of wealth, but can also dress down for the occasional football game at her son's school. If you've noticed, you'll see that I keep going back and forth between the everyday and formal wear look, and that was because I wanted to match up the hair colors of the CC hair. Normally, when you're actually trying to get a specific hair color, specifically when you're using blonde, it doesn't really match up because CC creators don't all use the same swatch for whatever CC they're doing. So with the hairs, I always try and make sure that I get the colors to be as accurate as possible. You'll also notice that I do the same thing with the makeup. I keep forgetting that I need to put highlight on their faces, so specifically obviously the women. So every time I keep going backwards to touch up on the makeup, it's because I keep forgetting that I needed to do the face shine, and then I just want to put that out there. I think this is something that will help me just remember that whenever I'm recording something, I have to remember to do things cohesively so that I don't have to struggle when editing. So this is why I didn't edit that part out, just as a reminder and something to teach me that this is what needs to be done. Also, I don't know if you guys can hear the sounds in the background, like birds chirping, dogs barking, and cars passing by. My niece and nephew are also watching TV on the other side. If you do hear those sounds, especially if you're wearing headphones, I'm really sorry for that. I am trying my best to learn more about how to reduce those type of sounds whenever I'm editing my voiceovers, So it's still a steep learning curve for me on that level. And currently I do not have a microphone, so I'm using my laptop as I go along. I'm still waiting for my gaming headphones to actually arrive. They do come with its own microphone, so hopefully that will also help reduce all these sounds that you hear, especially the humming coming from the laptop. For Kate's cold weather look, I took inspiration from one of Michelle Obama's looks during her husband's candidacy announcement tour. I couldn't remember where I saw it, but decided to check her book while I was working on the script. And I found it and placed it up on the right so you can see the reference. I was really struggling to find items that didn't bleed into the pants, but I was definitely adamant on using these pants specifically. So made sure I found everything that eventually worked out. I don't know why this tends to happen, but I think it has something to do with the UV maps. If I remember correctly, there was a CC creator who actually spoke on it, telling one of the people asking about the whole bleeding into the items, that what happens is with CC creators is one would actually create something and then the other also creates something using the same UV map. Obviously they all use the same UV map, but they're using the same grid of some sort, I think. And then once you actually put those items together into your game, they end up overlapping on one another. So I think that is the problem with the bleeding that takes place here. Also, I wanted to actually mention, I'm pretty sure you noticed that the way I'm speaking now and obviously earlier when I was talking about Kate and Nicholas is actually very different. That's because I use a script, mainly because I'm not comfortable with actually talking to myself, as I've noticed. I'm a very talkative person, but this is very hard to do. So I use a script so that I know exactly what I need to say about the video itself and the content within it. And when I'm actually talking freely, that actually has to do with me trying to get used to talking without having to use the script. Basically getting used to the video format. Back on the screen is Yasmin Dixon. Yasmin is the oldest daughter of Nick and Kate. Her traits are business savvy, self-assured, snob, and mean, and her aspiration is fabulously wealthy. Yas, like Brooklyn, is newly graduated and has a PR management degree. She's your typical rich girl who can be a bit ignorant on certain things, so her parents and Brooklyn tend to bring her down to earth. That helps her grow as a person and see the other side of life. Her mean streak is mostly based on wanting things to be a certain way. In-game, she will be in the social media career taking the PR route, but in the story, she starts off working at a PR company while working towards a modeling career. Yas was the first, obviously, of her siblings to try and stay out of the political limelight of her family, so her siblings followed her lead. She's basically been off the radar so much that people don't link her to her dad unless they actually pay attention to her family. She wants to generate her own fame, but with her dad planning to run for president, that will obviously mess up that plan. Yaz's style is mostly expensive and fashionable. She almost never wears anything that isn't designer or trendy, even on a chill day. She does have an expensive taste, so moving in with Brooklyn in New York after varsity is a bit of a culture shock, having lived in her aunt's Manhattan condo while in school. Like Brooklyn, Yaz is going to be a main character and I'll be following parts of her life and her family. So I wanted to touch on Brooklyn and Yasmin's relationship for a bit. How they basically met was at a school function. They obviously came separately, and Yasmin being Yasmin rubbed her friends at the time the wrong way, so they ended up ditching her. She was all miserable and upset, and then Brooklyn found her and then offered to help her get back home. After offering her the help, Brooklyn ended up regretting it because, again, Yasmin being Yasmin was rude, obnoxious, and being bratty, and Brooklyn didn't really like her. But Yasmin could see that Brooklyn had a nice heart and was sweet and decided that she wants to get to know Brooklyn. So whenever she saw Brooklyn around school, she literally made it a point to see Brooklyn around school. And basically get herself into Brooklyn's circle or into Brooklyn's life, and eventually they became friends, and now they're best friends about to live together. I also realized that I didn't really touch on what Brooklyn will be doing in game. I only mentioned back on that on the previous video, I only mentioned that she'll be working for Vogue as an assistant, as a junior assistant. So what she'll be doing in game is she will be going into the style influencer career. I think that's what it's called. So that's what she'll be doing. Also, I was just thinking about like just the idea of how Brooklyn and Yaz met and how they're friends. It's amazing how we as simmers, we just make up these stories out of nowhere and suck them out of our thumb just to make our gameplay so much better. But it is necessary considering how shallow the gameplay actually is in The Sims. I don't know, this is just how I see it, but I find it more interesting to make up what you want to make up, play the game how you want to play it, and just let your imagination run wild with it. That's part of the reason why I still play The Sims 4. Also in the custom content, I mean, look at what I'm using right now. It's just amazing. The custom content creators obviously put their heart and soul into all of this, and it shows because the dedication that they put into making sure our Sims looks great is on another level. Anyway, Michaela is the current princess of the family. Her traits are musa, outgoing, and creative. Her aspiration is master actress since she wants to be an actor. Michaela is a senior in high school and part of the drama club. She's also a cheerleader and obviously part of the popular kids. Unlike her sister, Michaela is more laid back. Her style is more on the casual side. She doesn't necessarily dress up unless she actually has to. Michaela paints in her spare time due to being creative. With Michaela and Corey, I was able to get the looks together faster because I had an actual idea of what I wanted for them. She's your average teenage girl and has a close relationship with her brother. She is also close with Yaz, but like many sisterly relationships, have their drama. She does tend to be Yaz's model when Yaz does her content videos or her photography. So yeah, in her spare time, Yaz actually does do photography. Obviously, this is part of the things that she wants to do in terms of her being a model. And while Michaela humors her because why not? It's being creative. It also helps her get out of her shell and gives her a confident boost in terms of her one day becoming an actress. Speaking of video content creation, because I want to improve and deliver better quality content, if you can, go over to my Buy Me Coffee page. This will help me grow my channel and allow me to bring you better content. You can find the link down below in my description box and in the About tab of my channel. So Michaela and Corey's relationship is that because they are the youngest in the family, they actually grew up together and they're much closer than they are with Yaz. Even though all the siblings are extremely close to each other, it's just that Corey and Michaela have a stronger bond, almost like they're best friends. Also because they went to the same schools, they basically follow each other in terms of grades. Well, not grades as in a student or whatnot, but in terms of, oh, this one's in the 5th grade and then this one happens to be in the 3rd grade. That's basically what I mean. And also in terms of the friends, they actually do have a mixture of friends amongst each other. So they're not necessarily separated in terms of the friendships, but they do have their own separate cliques while also basically merging their friends together as well. Not to mention, even though Corey is the youngest, he has a tendency of acting like an older brother to Michaela and Yaz as well, but mostly to Michaela because of how close they are. And finally, we have Corey. Corey is the baby of the family and his traits are high metabolism, active, and bro. He's part of the basketball and American football team at school and on the road to being part of the varsity team. He wants to be a football player in the future. I emphasize American football because I'm South African. Football refers to soccer here and we don't have American football, we have rugby. Same ball, different rules. I think. I've never watched an American football, so maybe you guys can let me know down below in the comments. Anyway, Corey is a sophomore and a bit of a ladies' man, although he's very enamored with his neighbor Olivia Spencer Kim. His style ranges from stylish to casual depending on the occasion, and he's obsessed with sneakers of all kinds. Alright, we're about to enter into the screenshots. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys on the next upload. Otherwise, stay safe and have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye!
If you believe in love, give me a feeling. If you believe in me, hold me and let me in. If you are ready, I'm gonna reach you. I've got a feeling.